Welcome everybody to this Sunday edition. I'm your host iNoslen with co-host Sarah. This week's show is all about our 10-week anniversary. That's right, we've been on the air for 10 weeks and we're going to celebrate with you guys and throw a little party here at iNoslen Studio. But before we get to any of that, we're going to do a special interview with Q the Question from SKE Records. You don't want to miss that today on the iNoslen Sunday edition.
SKE Records in the building. Y'all know what it is. Representing Philly, the boy Q the Question. And right now, you listening to iNoslen Radio.
Yo, it's your boy DJ YRS Jersey, and I'm rocking with iNoslen. You already know what time it is. Florida to NC to New Jersey. You already know. Let's get it.
All right, everybody, let's get this show started with Q the Question from SKE Records. That's right. What's up, Q? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Noslen, man? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, dude, it's a pleasure to have you here. Like I said, I've been trying to, keep up with you guys, man. You guys are movers and shakers over there at SKE, and I want to say I admire that, man. I want to tell all the listeners out here, if you guys don't know who Q the Question is, you need to get on Twitter. You need to check out Q the Question and follow this guy. He's an amazing person, man. He's a mover, a shaker. He gets things done. And I'll tell you right now, from my own experience with him, he's gotten things done for me. And I appreciate it. And I want to tell you, man, thank you here. And to everybody who's listening today, the Q the Question is a man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm glad you've been supporting the SKE brand for a minute now. And, it felt great that when you finally reached out to us to do an interview, man, and, you was down to do it with no problem. You took a liking to everything that we're doing with, SKE Records, myself, Trel Mack, man. So it's a pleasure for me to be on your show as well.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. There's a few things I wanted to start the interview with, and this is some of the stuff that, everybody likes to ask. And this is, I know you're from Philadelphia, but kind of give us a little bit of a background of how you grew up and what got you to this point.
Well, you know what? Like I said, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. I grew up in the Germantown section of Philly, right up around Chew and Shelton, so, that's the neighborhood that I grew up in. And I've always been like a hardcore hip-hop head, and I always knew that, growing up, man, I wanted to work in the music industry, I remember, growing up listening to the Wu-Tang Clan, early Nas, early Jay-Z, and at one point in my life, Redman was even my favorite rapper, at one point, so I just knew it was just something destined for me to do, and I just had to get into the industry. But, moving fast forward, everybody see me as the co-founder of SKE Records, but I come from a background of doing college radio, hip-hop journalism, writing for major magazines, and also having a background as a very popular publicist in the industry. And that's how it all began, and I just utilized those connections to start SKE Records.
Man, that's really cool. So you started off small and now you're making it big, and that's what determination actually is, guys. You need to look to this guy and get some inspiration from this. For me, I wanted to, ask you about, some of the things that you've done so far. Like, I know you've been in a lot of publications. It says you've been in over 2,500 publications. You've did some big things. Let me see here. You're a Hatfield graduate, North Carolina, A&T State University. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I have my journalism degree from North Carolina A&T State University. That's the best HBCU in right now. North Carolina A&T, for those that don't know, HBCU is for Historically Black College University. And class of 2009 December, man, I got a degree in journalism. And as far as the 2,500 articles being published, that was during my journalism career. Writing for magazines like YoRaps.com, Hip Hop DX, Nobody's Smiling, which doesn't exist now, and even SixShot.com. I was interviewing every rapper I could because I love writing for magazines, and I just love hip hop culture. And I was going hard for 6 or 7 years, man, writing for all of the major magazines, as many as I can. And I have over 2,500 published articles, interviews, reviews, and all that, man. And it was just a passion that I had, and I loved it.
Yeah, man, that's super cool. Matter of fact, I was checking you out with the picture with Common, man. Now, that must have been a really amazing experience. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. Me and Common was cool, man. He's one of the coolest rappers I ever met, man. That was when I used to have a radio show called The Full Moon Block Party, and this was around the time when Common dropped that album. I think it was called, what album was that? I think it was around the time when he dropped Universal Mind Control, I believe. I think it was that one or the album before that. I'm not exactly sure. But he was a cool guy, man, actually having the opportunity to meet people every day that some people would never meet their entire life. Common was definitely like one of the coolest rappers I ever met during my journalism career.
Yeah, man, that's super cool. I mean, I just, you know, just being there. I don't know the guy like that, but from the way that he flows, the way that I see how he interacts with people, he seems like a really cool dude, man. I wish I could meet him one day myself.
Yeah, no doubt, man. He's a legend, man. You know, he released a lot of great music through the years, man. So Common is definitely a legend and one of the best to come in the game.
Yeah, for sure. And then I wanted to ask you about this too. What pushed you to want to create SKE Records?
Man, you know what's crazy, man, and I tell people this all the time. You know, just growing up as a kid, man, watching Puffy and Biggie with Bad Boy Records, Damon Dash, Jay-Z, Rockefeller, Cash Money Records, Birdman and Slim, Master P, No Limit, and it just was amazing to me how these dudes start having a crazy street grind and building up their own companies independently and created, you know, powerhouses in the hip hop industry, man. And I really felt like with my knowledge of music and my passion for it and my understanding of the hip hop history and hip hop culture and all that, I felt like that I really had the ability to do the same thing. And next thing you know, SKE Records, man. Me and Trel Mack met back in 2006, and that was my shot to do it, man. I said, you know what? I think I have what it takes, just like those guys, to do it too.
Yeah, man, I believe in you too, dude. I mean, I've been around you a short amount of time, but I'll tell you this much: my interest was piqued from day one. You guys just had a lot of powerful stuff out there. The music, the production behind it. Some of the things that I would see is like even your videos, man. They were very powerful, great visual things. You know, the camera work was there. All those things that I got a chance to experience myself, you know, before I got to talk to you. That way I could say, you know, I can appreciate what it is that you do on an everyday basis, because you're putting together and planning these, you know, strategies that are taking you to that next step. And that's what I want to talk about now. Now that you've made it to this point in my life, or at least this point in your life, in this case, what do you feel actually sets you apart now from all the other people that are out there?
Well, you know what, man? You know, for one, I just think it's the music that we bring. And one thing about SKE Records, man, I just think that, you know, I have a knack for finding artists that are diverse. You know, Trel Mack has his own lane. You know, Peter Jones has his own lane. And one of the things that you do to make your label stand out, you have to diversify the talent. Even with the new artists that we have out of Spain, Adry Sawza, even with him, man, him being our first, you know, R&B singer, you know, being a Spanish artist, man, and that's just one of the things that I think that sets us apart. Not only that, man, you know, one of the things that everybody should have in common is the professional side that we have. You know, we get things done. We show up for interviews on time. You know, we speak real professional, man. So we just try to do everything that we can in a professional manner. And I just feel like, you know, the work ethic that we have, man, and, you know, the branding that we have, you know, the whole SKE conglomerate of everything that we're doing as a dope artist and businessman. And I feel that we have what it takes to compete in today's industry amongst the best.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to have some kind of guts, man, to get out there and do this kind of thing that you do every day. I mean, you have to really push yourself to be in a position to say, you know, I'm the CEO of this company, and this record label is going to make it no matter what, and here's what we're going to do it. And that kind of drive is what, you know, I told you when we talked a few times by email, that you know, that's what drives me, man. I see you, and it's like, man, I see like that hunger, you know what I mean? And that's the hunger that I have every day when I do my own show, you know what I mean? Albeit that I do, you know, this little radio show, you got your music on the other half, but you know, without the two, you know, you can't really do a whole lot unless you know how to control it all. And I think that that's what you've been pushing towards. It's like being able to take control of all the aspects of the music business and then build on that and create a future for you and, you know, employees to come maybe in the future. The one thing that I wanted to get into now, though, is, you know, if you had a choice right now, who would be the first artist that you'd like to collaborate with?
Right now, from an artist perspective, right now, Man, you know what? Ghostface Killer, man. You know, maybe we could work on a product together. Maybe I host a project, a mixtape with him or something, man. Like, people don't know. Like, well, a lot of people do know. But, man, you know, Ghostface Killer is in my top 5 MCs of all time, man. Like, I remember when I met him and Raekwon a few years ago, back in 2010, man. And that was just like a great experience being Ghostface Killer, man. So, you know, I feel like he'll be working with me, working with Trel Mack or any artist on my label, because I feel like that was something I made happen. Like, of course, I don't rap, but if we were to get in the studio and come up with some concepts for like Ghostface Killer, Trel Mack song, however we can, that would be great, man, because Tony Starks is just that dude, man. And, like, I love Ghostface Killer.
Yeah, for sure, man. I've listened to him since the Wu-Tang days, and I tell you what, there was nothing harder than that East Coast flow that them guys had right there. I mean, I loved it. I loved all that music from up there. You know, I was originally from Chicago, and then, you know, we moved down to Florida, and then so I got a taste of like the Midwest, and then I went down and I got the Southern music, you know, the Southern hip hop. You got your, you know, your Big Boy that just dropped some song not that long ago, and that was amazing. I love that track. You know, and it's just like all these artists, and then it's like the culture's just all mixed together. So being able to experience like all these different styles, that's why I think you guys are like a fresh take on what hip hop should be. The flows are amazing. The lyrics are really gritty and hard. I mean, I love it, man. It's just something that has brought me to have more faith in hip hop again, you know, because for a long time there, the 90s was amazing. And then in the 2000s, honestly, like I told Trel Mack, it wasn't that good, man. And I felt like, wow, man, we need some more guys, you know, we got to have some more people that are going to do something in the hip hop world. I want to see some game changers out there. You know, I'm done seeing all these like little one-timer guys, man. I need some people that are going to be longevity, man, because that's what really makes it in the game. You know, the guy that's been still making albums and he's, you know, 20, 30 years down the line, whatever, you know, and then when he gets out and he's got the company and he's doing everything and he's bringing up the new guys. And then that mentoring that I feel you're doing with your guys, you know, you mentor them. It's like you're giving them the understanding of what the hip-hop game is. You've obviously been in it for a very long time. You've been doing SKE Records, you said, since 2006, and we're in 2014. So that's like 8 years there. And, I mean, all the time that you were a reporter before that. Yeah, man. So, I mean, you know, putting in all that work just proves that, you know, hard work and determination will get you the prize at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And, you know, a lot of people don't know, man, I got into the industry when I was 18, man, back in like, you know, 2004, 2005, you know, with the journalism thing. Like, I jumped in the industry fast, man, because I just, like, it was just one of them, you know, fortunate situations where, you know, a lot of people in life, they don't know what they want to do for a living. I knew what I wanted to do. So when I got the opportunity, I was on it. And I was like, I was on it. At 18 years old, back in 04, 05, I said, yo, I'm going to start off doing journalism, but I always wanted to start a record label. So after doing journalism for about a year and a half, you know, I started SKE Records, but I was still doing hip-hop journalism and just utilizing those sources to get the label popping. And it's been a grind, man, and a lot of people think it happens overnight. And like you said, we've been grinding for 8 years, and now it's finally starting to happen for us. But it just goes to show you got to put in work. And like you said, you know, moving forward, historically, man, you know, just like you had P. Diddy and Master P, I feel like how I look up to P. Diddy and Damon Dash and Jay-Z and Master P, you know, I feel like I have what it takes to be like, man, I loved it. You know, a 10-year-old kid could be watching right now saying, man, I loved it watching Q and Trel with SKE Records growing up as a kid, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, there's got to be somebody to keep the movement going, you know what I mean? And, you know, eventually there's going to be new producers, new record labels, new studios, new everything. Because, I mean, you don't last forever. Sorry, you know, we can only live for so long in our lives. But while we're living this life, let's put 100 on everything. Whatever it is that you're doing, make it happen, you know? Just like Q the Question is here, just like I'm doing. And make something for yourself, no matter what it is. Just, you know, be positive, get things going forward, and never give up. That's the biggest thing that they have been talking to me about, and everyone that I've talked to, including yourself, Q. The question is, the mentality is the never give up mentality, and that's, I think, what really makes you guys a power to reckon with here coming up now, man. I mean, you guys are going to have a lot of opportunities, and at least from what I can tell, you guys seem focused, and you will make it, man. I know that you will. I have faith in you guys, and if I get to be there to see it, hey, send me a ticket, man. I want to go to the show.
Oh, definitely, man. You already know, man. You know, a lot of promoters been reaching out for shows and all of that, man. So you already know, man. You got that relationship, man. So you already know, man. Whatever city we in, where you live, you there for sure.
Yeah, man, that'll be great. I'd love to hang out with you guys. Like I told Trel, man, whenever you guys get down to Florida, you guys want to hit me up, man. You got my number now. Just go ahead and give me a call. Yeah, for sure, man. Just hang out. We'll go chill, do whatever. But here, let me get to the last question of the interview here. And this is one that I want to put out there for everybody, being that this is our 10th episode, so 10 weeks of us actually being on the air with the iNoslen Radio and the Sunday edition. I want you to tell everybody, what is the best advice you can give to somebody who's an upcoming artist?
Man, you know what? Artists ask me this all of the time, and I tell them, you know, the main thing that they got to do is something that is said over and over again. You got to read. You know, a lot of artists are so focused on music so much where they feel like they don't have to read. It's the old saying, you know, the business, 90% business, 10% music. And a lot of times artists need to read and listen to the things that are going on. When you see up-and-coming artists that are actually killing, or even established artists, when they doing interviews with radio shows, or if you see interviews with some of the biggest moguls or marketing execs, and they break down their strategies of how they made it, I think a lot of artists need to actually pay attention to that, because a lot of times they let it fly over their head when they can actually apply some of those strategies to their own music and apply some of those strategies to their own movements with their labels, man. So that's just one of the main things that I recommend, man. You know, you see interviews with Sway in the morning, or watch The Breakfast Club when they have the major artists on there, or major executives, or people behind the scenes that are just killing the business. Yeah. Pay attention to what those people are saying, because you can use some of their strategies for your own success, and that's what I recommend.
There you go. That was some top-level advice from Q the Question. You guys listen. Make sure you follow some of his cues. Get it? And make sure that you follow Q the Question on Twitter at Q the Question. Make sure you follow me at Noslen78. Make sure you follow the show at iNoslen Show. And Q, go ahead and plug away, man. Whatever you want to let the crowd know, where they can find you, what else they want to follow you at, let them know now.
No doubt. Well, you know, shout out to all of the fans that tuned into the iNoslen Show to check me out for the exclusive interview. Shout out to you as well, Noslen, man, for having me on. And just to let you know, man, we got a new video coming soon from Peter Jones. It's called 3, featuring Trel Mack and Sean Archer. It's been a lot of delays, man. You know, the snow been killing us up here. But to all of the fans, man, it's coming soon, so be patient. Also, man, I have released my first book. It's been out for about 5 or 6 months now. The Secret to Speaking Spanish Fluently in Less Than a Year. You can purchase that right now on Amazon for $4.99, and I break down the steps on how you can become bilingual within a year if you take it seriously, and how it can open you up to a new world. So make sure y'all purchase that as well if you have any interest in learning Spanish. And that's pretty much it, man. I got some new mixtapes that I'm going to be hosting soon. I'll keep y'all updated through the Instagram and Twitter. Shout out to all of the up-and-coming hip-hop artists doing their thing as well, keeping this culture moving forward.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you to everybody. And we'll be back right after this.